Alright, so it's about time I finally did this. I've had a couple days to play with it, and here are my Switch impressions. I'm gonna try to make this brief. I know I always say that, but I do because I want to get back to playing. But basically, um, I love the Switch. I really love the system. I get really happy every single time I like dock it and I see it instantly pop up on the TV. I mean, not instantly. It takes a good like 2 seconds maybe, but it's just, I don't know. It just gives me a really good feeling. It just, I don't know. It's just cool. It's just really cool. I'm still blown away by how flexible the machine is. Um, since it came out, I have played primarily on the TV screen. However, I have taken it off the dock when I've been multitasking, like when I wanted to watch, like when I wanted to watch Toonami on Saturday night to watch some Dragon Ball Super. So, but I still wanted to play some games and download some stuff, so I took it off the dock, had it in my lap while I had the TV on watching Toonami. That's cool. I like being able to do that. It reminds me a lot of the Wii U's off TV play, like an evolution of that, if you will. And I have taken it over to a couple friends' houses. I took it to the mall. It's good. Battery life, I wish was a little, just a teeny bit better, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be, especially because I said it once before, I'll say it again. My primary handheld is still the 3DS. The 3DS is still going strong. This is more or less like a complementary handheld, but I'm treating the Switch mainly as a home console, just with a bit more flexibility, which is what I love. I love being able to just take it over to a friend's house, just put it in their dock, have my own games that are downloaded and stuff, games that they might not have, be able to play them. That's cool. And they could do the same thing. Come over to my house, bring their Switch, put it in my dock, and there you go. Um, the launch lineup, I'm very satisfied with it. I thought the launch lineup would be a little bit small, um, but to be completely honest, I have 5 games. I downloaded 2, as you know. I downloaded Fast RMX as well as Temper Clips, and I bought 1-2 Switch, Bomberman, and Zelda. Zelda alone is just lasting me. I'm going to be in that game for quite a while, and I'm loving every bit of it. Zelda is just, Breath of the Wild is just amazing. I cannot. I'm going to do individual like impressions for each of the games, but let me just say, like, I've been playing a lot of Zelda. I'm playing a lot of the other games as well. I've played 1-2 Switch at least there's been 3 or 4 different occasions that I've played it with friends already, and 1-2 Switch is just, it's a ball. It's really great. It's a nice party game. Definitely not one I'm gonna be playing too much by myself, but honestly, like between that and Bomberman is also a great. It has great single player and multiplayer. The local needs a little bit work because it does lag a little bit, but other than that, I'm enjoying it. These games are like, $50, and a lot of people are going ape shit over that. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think they're well worth the price because the amount of enjoyment you get out of them. I think it's perfect. That's just me though. The controllers are great. The Joy-Cons are not as small as I thought they'd be. I mean, if I'm being completely honest, do I still prefer the way the Wii remote feels in my hands? Yes, I mean I do actually. The way the Wii remote feels, I do prefer that. But the function of the actual Joy Cons, it trumps the Wii remote a lot. I will say that. Um, and like the actual Joy Cons themselves, there are ways you can go around it. The wrist straps do make them bigger. I do have some grips that I bought that came with one of my starter kits as well. That adds a little bit more grip to the Joy Cons. So, but they're not as tiny as I thought they'd be. They actually do feel really comfortable. Like I said, they don't feel as, you don't get as big a grip on them as you would the Wii remote, but still, I have no issue with them. Um, I I do have the grip. Obviously, I have the one that came with the system as well as a charging one. The grip, I do like the grip a lot. The grip, I remember when I first watched the reveal, I saw the grip and I was like, oh, that's cool how you can do that. But the grip looked really, really funky. It still looks funky when you look at it. You look at that and you think it's, even now, like I know it's comfortable, but when I look at it, I'm like, what is this? But then when I put it in my hand and I feel it, it really slides into your hand really well. I really like it. The Pro Controller is my preferred controller, though. I will say that the Pro Controller just is a little bit more at home with me. That's the one I play Zelda with. Um, the Pro Controller, it definitely is really, really well. I really like it a lot. It's comparable to the Wii U Pro Controller a bit. I would say it's like a mix of that with the GameCube. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like a balance between those two. The Pro Controller compared to the Joy-Con grip, I do prefer the Pro Controller, but the Joy-Con grip does have a few advantages. I do like the sticks on the Pro Controller better. They just feel more versatile. And I do like how the face buttons are bigger on the Pro Controller as opposed to the Joy-Cons in the grip. But the Joy-Con face buttons, they click better, if that makes any sense. I like how the Pro Controller's ones are bigger, but they're a little bit more mushy than they would as clickable buttons compared to the Joy-Con grip. The Joy-Con grip has a little more clickable buttons with the Joy-Cons. And I prefer the clicky buttons, but I prefer the bigger buttons with the Pro Controller. So, there's pros and cons either way. I get it, pros and cons. But anyways, yeah, I love it. I've had no issues with my Switch. Like I said, you hear all this stuff online about, dock scratching and, decals coming off and bubbling and all the overheating or whatnot. You hear issues about how it's crashing and all this other crap, dead pixels and stuff. I have had none of those issues. And like I said, I've moved it in and out of my dock more than a dozen times. I haven't thrown it in my dock. I haven't just like sat it in there, like let it drop in there, because you're not supposed to do that. So my guess is the people doing that are probably just abusing the dang thing, and just that's why it's getting scratched. And as far as, like I said, I have a screen protector on mine, and it has yet to come off. There's a little bit bubbles here and there, but they're slowly going down, because that's how screen protectors are. There's always going to be little air bubbles, and they go away over time. So there's only a couple, and it's not on the actual screen itself. It's just on more or less on the outside. So, but yeah, I've had no issues. Like I said, no dock scratching. I've had no glitching. I've had no dead pixels. None of that. Even Zelda, like everyone keeps saying, like Zelda has frame rate issues even on TV mode, and I've had a steady 30 frames per second. I've had no frame rate issues. So I'm very. I don't know if I just got a better unit than everyone. I mean, than most people. I don't know, but because even like everyone else I know personally in real life, they don't have any issues with the Switch, just like me. They don't have any dock scratching or stuff, but they have had frame rate issues with Zelda, or that's what they tell me, and I have not. So I don't know. I don't know what's up with that, but I haven't had any issues. Now, granted, I mean, it's not perfect. It's a console launch. It's not gonna be a perfect system. No console launch. Things get better over time. The Wii U had a lot of features introduced over time. The PS4, PS3, so on and so forth, a lot of features introduced over time. The Wii, same thing. And there's actually a lot of stuff that I would personally want changed with the system. But here's the thing. People keep talking about like all the hardware issues. I don't have any hardware issues with the system. It's mostly issues with the software and with the user interface itself, and that's all stuff that can be patched in with updates. I actually made a list. One thing I want changed is get rid of the friend codes. That's one thing that I found really ridiculous when I first booted up the system and I saw friend codes. And I was like, wait a minute. Reggie said back in January, no friend codes. What's going on here? And I mean, and it's not as annoying as the Wii, sure, but it's still like, we made usernames on our Nintendo accounts. We also have Facebook and Twitter linked and all this other stuff. Why not use that? Why not import our friends list from like the Wii U or 3DS or something? There's so many other ways they could go about it. I don't know why we're doing friend codes. I'm guessing it's a temporary thing. I know this is more of a soft launch, and they're going to be rolling stuff out throughout the year. But that's the number one thing. Like, get rid of the friend codes. We need usernames. We need Facebook integration, Twitter. Import friends lists from other systems. That's what we need. No friend codes. One thing is that the game saves right now, they are stored on the unit itself, and you cannot move them or copy them. That's something that needs to be changed. We need to have the ability to copy our game saves to a micro SD card or another source like an external, HDD or another system or something like that. We need to be able to do that. Copying over whole games, I understand that. Like, I understand not being able to, take that over to a friend's, but the fact of the matter is, I want to be able to copy saves, just in case as a backup, in case anything happens to my system. If I end up putting 100 hours into Breath of the Wild and then my system goes, I want to be able to keep those hours. I will be very heartbroken if I do not have all that time back. You know what I mean? So that needs to change. I do love the screenshot, the capture button on the Switch. I love it so much. I post so many screenshots, to Facebook. I haven't posted any to Twitter yet, but what they need to do is they need to have a feature like the PS4 where you can mass post multiple screenshots at once. Because as of now, you can only do them one by one. And especially if I game for like 5 hours and I'm just taking screenshots over and over and I forget to post them, then I have to go back and it's like there's like 40 screenshots I gotta post all at once and I'm doing them one by one. Like it gets a little bit tedious, you know. I want either Miiverse back or a similar service with some sort of game communities. Kind of like how they did on the PS4. They got communities there. Xbox did their clubs thing or whatever, you know. We need something like that. I really like that idea. I loved Miiverse, and I'm sad to see it go. I'd like to see it back, or at least something similar. I just feel it's a really good feature to have to bring communities together. We also need a power down option within the system menu. Right now, the only option they give you is to go in sleep mode. In order to actually power down your system, like all the way, completely turn it off, you have to hold down the power button on the unit itself, and then select turn off from a pop-up menu that shows up. We should have that already in the menu with the click of a button. I think that could be added too. I also want the ability to have both a username and a real name, or a nickname of sorts, kind of like the PS4. The PS4, when you link it up with Twitter or Facebook or whatnot, you can actually have it to where you have your gamer tag, like mine is Fallen Angelic 21, and then you can also display your real name to people who you want to. So it'll say my username, Fallen Angelic 21, and then I'll have my real name, Rob. That's something that I feel we need to have on the Switch as well, because it's easier to differentiate people. I don't remember everyone's nicknames, and already I have people on my list. It's like, wait a minute, who is that? Oh yeah, that's that person. It's gonna get hard once I get more people on the friends list. You know what I mean? And speaking of that, we do need some sort of messaging or alert service within the system. And that could go along with them bringing back Miiverse or making a game community thing or something. We just need some sort of messaging or notification thing to go between players, especially when the online service rolls out. I know they plan on doing that with the app, and I am not opposed to the app, but I feel that we need to have at least some things on the system itself. Also, I want more themes and avatars to put up for download, just like you can for the 3DS and the PlayStation Network. I like the fact there's already a spot for themes, but right now you only have black and white. I feel like they could easily do what they did with the 3DS, and there's so many avatars already. I want a ton more. I want to be able to download more. Here's the one that's also a little bit. This is also can be patched in, but I don't know if they'll do it. They need to make the eShop cards region free, and they need to let us use any region debit card or credit card with any of the eShops. Right now, I already have 3 accounts on my Switch. I have my main account, which is an American account. Then I set up an account for the Japanese eShop and an account for the European eShop, which is all fine and dandy. I'm able to download demos. Like I got the Japanese demos of Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2 and Puyo Puyo Cross Tetris, but I am not able to actually buy any games because my debit card is an American debit card. That's the region that my bank and my debit card is from. You can't use it on a European or Japanese eShop. You can only use the credit cards or debit cards from those regions. So I would need a Japanese credit card to be able to buy anything off the Japanese eShop. Point cards are also region locked. The point cards I can go up to GameStop right now and buy are North American point cards. They will not work on a European or Japanese eShop. So that's something I feel should be changed, because they've already made everything region free. They've already made it accessible to the eShop very easily. I can browse the Japanese and European eShop just as easily as I can the North American one. Like it's insane how easy it is, and I love that. But now we can't buy anything unless the only workaround right now is to get digital codes for Japanese or European eShop cards off of sites like PlayAsia or Amazon Japan and stuff like that. But there needs to be an easier way. I should be able to use the point cards I buy at GameStop or Best Buy or something, and I should be able to use that for any eShop I want. And I think that's something they could patch in, as well as using any debit or credit card as well. Exchange rates and all, I understand that, but just let us use it, you know what I mean? And the last thing I'd like to be changed is being able to order your system menu however you want. Right now, it's a lot like the PS4, which I'm not a fan of that menu, where the latest thing you played goes to the front, but you can't really move them. I think you need to be able to move your stuff a lot easier and organize it. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be folders and stuff in the future. So I feel like there's going to be more organization. There's probably going to be more subsections later. Again, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying this is all stuff I'd like to see happen in the future. And I do feel a majority of it will, because like I said, Nintendo is keen on doing that. They always like to update their stuff a lot. They updated the Wii U, 3DS a lot. 3DS, even in recent years, 3DS has gotten a major overhaul. The whole themes of the 3DS wasn't even a big thing until I want to say 2014. So, that was only the past couple years. So, I'm sure a lot of this stuff will come to the Switch. But as of now, I'm loving the Switch. It's amazing. The controllers are great. The system runs great. The games are great. And there's already so much more coming out in the next, there's games every month pretty much. Like this month, I'm getting Hazbin Heroes, Snake Pass, and Pocket Rumble. Pocket Rumble looks amazing. And then actually this Thursday is Blaster Master Zero. Definitely getting that. April has Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, obviously. Puyo Puyo Cross Tetris. And there's a couple other things here and there. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I know May has Ultra Street Fighter 2. So... And then, of course, later in the spring, we got ARMS. Summer is Splatoon 2. Fall is Fire Emblem Warriors. Holiday is Super Mario Odyssey. And then, of course, there's going to be more stuff at E3. And there's indies coming out throughout the year. There's a lot of games coming. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. This video did go on longer than I thought. Almost 17 minutes. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. And I will catch you later.